Welcome to Top Stories for July 28. I have an article that I'm gonna read to you. You're gonna find the source of the information in the information of this video. It reads like this. It's from NASA. It says NASA brace for solar storm that could bring critical system to a halt. This is by Alaya Sternstein and 7/23/2010. It's like 4 days old, but I can find a video in YouTube about it. So the article reads like this. A House committee on Thursday approved a 3-year authorization bill for NASA that includes a plan for issuing warnings about impending space storms that could knock out navigation system power and smartphones. Because of technology increasing reliance on satellites, many of the gadgets and systems Americans use on a daily basis are vulnerable to so-called space weather, according to NASA's officials. The phenomenon refers to environmental conditions on the sun that can influence the performance and reliability of Earth-based and extraterrestrial digital systems. The House Science and Technology Committee legislation H.R. 5781, which authorizes fundings and mission for NASA, includes a long-term strategy for sustainable space weather program. The White House, through the Director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy, will have to define individual agency responsibilities for carrying out the line of attack. According to NASA, the nation faces increasing uncertainty as Earth approaches the next peak of solar activity in 2013. The sun's magnetic fields could produce turbulent solar winds or charged particles streaming at high velocities. Other risks include solar flares, which are sudden eruption of magnetic energy, as well as coronal mass ejection, emission of plasma from the sun that disturb magnetic fields on Earth. Just a few of the devices and services that could go down during bad space weather include credit card transactions, air travel networks, the transmission of geothermal and wind power, most mapping application, and telemedicine system that send patient images from hospital to physician. The federal government already operates the National Space Weather Program. The forecasting initiative is overseen by NASA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the National Science Foundation, and the Defense, Energy, Interior, State, and Transportation Departments. The agencies monitor solar weather activity by exchanging data from space satellites, sensor, and ground-based observational instruments. They then run the information through sophisticated computer models and generate analysis relevant to each of their department mission. NOAA heads up the effort to predict and describe space storm. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, a division of the Homeland Security Department, is not part of the initiative but recently has taken a greater interest in preparing for a potential space disaster. DHS is expected to join the program soon, according to officials. In June, FEMA Administrator W. Craig Fugate spoke at the annual Space Weather Conference, which focuses on critical infrastructure protection. This is to me no different than any other natural hazard that we face. It's going to occur. It's part of our environment, and to do the average person, it's a known event except for the technologies that we are dependent upon, he said. We are not ready. So give me better data, give me longer warning, give me better impacts, so we can go tell the story to the decision maker of why we have to update and develop our plans around this hazard, so that if this does occur, it is an event, not a catastrophic disaster. The House bill also called for the government to commission a national academic study on the country's ability to accurately predict space weather and report findings and recommendations to Congress with 18 months after passage. NOAA and the other agencies in the program are collaborating to enhance the precision and timeliness of space weather forecasts with more sophisticated algorithms, populating outer space with thousands of satellites to keep an eye of the sun is not an option, NASA officials say. We can't afford to be everywhere all the time, Richard Fisher, head of NASA Heliophysics Division, said on Thursday. The scales are just enormous. So, my opinion on this is, in some point they say we need to prepare for the disaster. In other point they say no, it's a natural event. But my opinion is, if communication fails, all the communication fails, that's the first disaster. Because if you are in a plane and you can't, the pilot can't know the direction he's going, you know what's gonna happen. Hospitals without any power, and people that depends on so much machine to stay alive, won't have power, and they're gonna die. Phones are gonna work, and as I was talking with someone, he told me, and I understand that because I was monitoring that in the USGS, that solar flares, CMN or anything from the sun, it have some influence in the earthquakes and volcanoes. Not 100%, but have big influence. Most in the earthquakes. If you have a big solar storm that can shut down all these systems, then it's a big powered storm. So if a big power storm came and you have a big earthquake, let's say 5 to 6 earthquakes the same day and the same time in different parts of the world, 8.5, 9.2, 9.4, 8.7, you can have that's a disaster in some part of the world. And from earthquakes comes tsunamis. Imagine, or just think that these 4, 5, maybe 7, I don't know, earthquakes strong occur or happens, then comes the tsunamis. No communication at all. You can't call for emergency. There's no communication, so people like stealers, criminals will go to do their stuff. Their job is to steal and to kill. This is gonna be huge. I think they are only looking at what the storm maybe can do to the electronics, or maybe they are just saying or warning us because about the electronic, or telling us a little of the total information that it is. But my opinion is that this is a big event that can lead to shut down the big electronics, the communication. There's gonna be more consequence, and I bet big earthquakes and tsunami will happen because of this. I was looking for information of the 58, 59 solar storm, and I found big earthquakes in the same month that happened, in the same days that happened the solar storm that shut down the